All right, welcome back to the iWealth private client group / iWealth podcast today. And we're talking about one of Brad's unique things that he started how many years ago now?
Yeah, right around COVID, so right around 2020, 2021, in that neighborhood,
So
4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago, and it's private client group. And the gist of it is people that have a higher net worth have a different set of things that they have to be conscious about.
Right.
And so you've set this up, but besides that, I really don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, what are the things that you're helping people with? And give me the gist of it.
Yeah, and you probably know some of those pieces because we've talked about them, throughout time. But, let me back up first. Matt, I truly believe I'm no better than you or anybody else listening to this podcast, okay? And so when I start to talk about business owners or families with $10 million of net worth or more, it can sound a little, call it pompous. It can sound, I don't like necessarily how that feels, but that's the reality. You said it correctly. Like, there's a different set of circumstances that happen at a $10 million, $20 million, $100 million net worth than somebody that's got a $1 million net worth. But that doesn't make those people better. I think I need to preface that. It's probably just for my own sanity and my own mind, just to preface that. But yeah, one of the needs that I saw as I continued to work through my career is that there's a different ball game to play when you're getting that $10 million and up. And so instead of just continuing to do what we're doing day in and day out for our clients, we had clients already in that category. We set up what's called the iWealth Private Client Group in order to make that work. And the reason why we did that is because we wanted to make sure that it was exclusive. We wanted to make sure that it was done correctly for those families, and it wasn't just in word only. Do you know what I mean by word only?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that like to talk a game, but they can't back it up.
Yep.
And so I wanted to make sure that we could back up the offering once we had it named and put it together. So iWealth in general is there. We take care of many people in our community, and we'll continue to do that. But the private client group is for individuals or families, $10 million in net worth or more. But what's unique about it is we call it the Plan on Purpose office. And what that office does is it helps our clients figure out the gaps that they have in their situation. Because someone has $10 million in net worth doesn't mean that they're smarter than somebody that has $800,000 net worth. Mm-hmm. They just have more complex issues that they haven't thought about. And so what we like to do is sit down and help our clients inventory everything, but really find the gaps that they might need to have figured out in their own life. And a lot of times, Matt, they don't even know what those are.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't thought about what those gaps are. Any gaps you can like when I say gaps, what comes to mind?
Well, just with the estate planning and the tax piece of it, and then what do you do with the money when you're done? And in particular, does the money bless your kids or does it royally mess up your children? And that's a two-edged sword, right? On one side, they become very effective because at that type of wealth, you're taken care of 10 times over, right?
Yeah.
So you're really, how do you plan this not for you, but for your children or even your children's children if you're dealing on some of those higher levels,
right,
where that's generational wealth? Well, that two-edged sword can either cut you and kill you, and you end up as a very bad person. It just makes you more of whatever you are. I mean, that's what they always say.
Yeah.
Right? So at that level of wealth, how do you take and use it for good instead of for evil?
That's right.
So,
yeah.
That's what I think about.
I like how you boiled that down. And so, our job is to sit down and find those gaps, but then it's also to put together the professionals.
Yep.
And so with our Plan on Purpose office, we have the 4 Days Coming Network. That 4 Days Coming Network are who's, think of specialists around a wheel. Yep. We're at the center, and then we put those specialists in touch with our clients when they need it. And so there's some examples of that, and you know this because you've helped me with some of it, but like private health care.
Yep.
We know what our health system is. We know you have to be your best advocate these days. But what if all of a sudden someone in your family needs a behavioral therapist? Or what if you got diagnosed with something and you really want a team of people that would look at your diagnosis and help give you a second opinion? Like, we have people around that wheel that do those type of things that we can introduce to our clients. We don't revenue share, we don't get paid or none of that, but it's just a who network that we've been able to source to give to our clients. And we give them 3, so they have 3 different doctors per se that they can go and interview and take a look at. But it limits their time that they need and effort that they need to find the 3 to interview. We'll just give them 3 and then you interview them, and if one of those connect, then you've got that. But so private healthcare, what if you're a CEO and need to hire a COO for your business? There's professional search firms out there. How about 3 search firms that we've talked to and know and that you can talk to and get that done? Yep. Or you need to have a trust drawn up. What if there's 3 different estate planning attorneys that we introduce you to and you can take care of that? What if you need a jet because all of a sudden you have a medical issue and it's COVID and you need to get home and you need a private jet and you're willing to write a check for it? Like, who should you call?
Yep.
So, those are some things that we put together, and we call that the 4 Days Coming Network. And so what's interesting about those clients in the private client group is that they have access to this group of who's that can help them with their problems. And those problems can be different than somebody that has, $500,000 net worth. And again, those people aren't better than those other people. They just have different issues that need to be solved. And they've got the luxury of being able to write a check sometimes to be able to help those issues go away.
And it goes faster at that next level up. It's people that really want to skip the line. It's like the fast pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The people that are all at Disney World, the people in the fast pass lane aren't any better than the rest of us.
Right. They just wrote a check.
They just wrote a check for it. So if you're willing to pay, it's a pay to play game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I guess that's what the way you look at it. Like, if you're lucky enough to have the net worth or build it, if you call it luck, and you have that net worth and you're able to use it, why not use it so that you can get to the front of the line when life throws some curveballs at you? Yeah. So anyway, it's been fun. We put it together. We continue to curate those people around that Who network for the 4 Days Coming Network. And so, the Plan on Purpose office is there to serve those clients, serve their families, being able to take care of them in a bunch of different capacities, and then inventory it all. Like, we're really good at checklists and using our Plan on Purpose software where we keep track of all this so that we can keep our clients on track. And then, lastly, we can't do it all. And so we have to work with those professionals. So if they have their own CPA or attorney, we need to be on calls with them, meetings with them, so that everybody's on the same page. And what I've learned over the last 30 years, Matt, is like, it seems that a good financial advisor is at the center. They're going to make sure that the CPA is in the loop when needed. They're going to make sure that they get their clients in front of the attorney when needed, and regular checkups are going on. They're also talking to the property casualty insurance, make sure their umbrella policies are okay. Like, there's these different things that need to be looked at when you get to that level. And so to me, I kind of feel like the financial quarterback at some point.
Or a parent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that gets, a good point. That also gets into the family meeting. When you have that level of net worth, you need to be able to communicate that to your family when the time's right, so that we just got done with Thanksgiving, so they have Thanksgiving dinner when you're dead and gone someday. And I tell clients that. And so, once you get these things in order, now communicating into the families, back to the family meeting. So that's another thing that private client office provides to our clients.
One thing that I really like about it, just in hearing you talk through that, is the concept that sometimes when you get into those higher levels, people, because they feel like they need to have all the answers. If you have a bunch of money that you've been able to accumulate, or however, you feel like, oh, well, I should be the expert. Well, you can't be the expert on everything. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. And so sometimes if you have a group like your private client group, you're also using that as a sounding board for, how does this work, right? Or how do we do this well? because people expect us to do it well if you've accumulated that amount of money, right? So whether it be the healthcare piece of it, or even the travel piece of it, or it's almost like a parent that's there that's saying, here's how you do this well. There's a million ways to do it, but here's how you do it well. And that takes like-minded people, the same way that a parent would be a like-minded person.
That's right.
To step in. So I use the analogy of the parent because it's the best at giving it a sounding, I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think people appreciate the fact that we've vetted, talked to, understand the character, core values of the people.
Yeah.
But again, we don't employ them or anything like that. It's just we've curated this really cool network of people that help our clients out.
Yeah.
And again, that network changes as I meet people or people retire or whatever that is. So that's an ongoing thing.
Do you ever find that the people in that network actually already knew each other on some level because they knew through a friend of a friend, or they had birds of a feather? Right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm asking.
A lot of times people will. They'll like, oh, I know that person. We work together on another client or something. Yeah. But also, I've also had those people say, well, Brad, I've got this need. Do you got anybody around that wheel that does this?
Yeah.
And I've been able to give some introductions to those people that are helping provide help to my clients that need help in their own lives and some of their own situations. So it's pretty neat. It's called a mastermind group, call it whatever you want, but the Plan and Purpose office with the 4 Days Coming Network's been pretty cool to dream up and put together and see it in action, and not just vanity, but actual substance, and see people have results from it. It's been pretty cool.
There you go. All right. Anything else we should know?
Nope, I think we're good, Matt.
All right. We'll see you back here next time.
Thanks. Take care.